What's up, music fans? My name's Jackson. Today I'm going to react to Plastic Beach by Gorillaz. Okay, I've been getting requests for months now. I mean, literally ever since I did my reaction to Demon Days, it's been non-stop. So here we are, I'm continuing the series. And so I use this as a cop-out answer a lot, but the reason why I haven't done another Gorillaz reaction since then is because I just didn't feel the need to. Demon Days has held so much replay value for me. If you want to hear me talk a bit more in depth about that, I talked a lot about the song Fire Coming Out of a Monkey's Head on my 10 Songs That Changed My Perspective on Life video. I really feel like that was a bone-chilling story that 2D used to kind of illustrate this larger-than-life theme of the album, but also make it more relatable and, more accessible for the listener, I guess. And it was that song that really made me give the rest of the album a true chance and to kind of dig deeper into what they were saying and the point of these songs and how they fit with each other. And I kind of started to see the artistic direction that they were going in, but also really feel the conceit, the frustration that they had politically. I think songs like El Mañana, the verse on the back half of Dirty Harry, and then of course Fire Coming Out of the Monkey's Head are probably the three biggest examples of the political issues they went into, but also how they relate to just humanity. And that was really cool, and I really liked how they made that kind of subtle, but also once you realize it, you feel like they're beating you over the head with that theme the entire album. And again, those are the kind of things that make me revisit albums, that give them replay value for my personal music palette. But just sonically, I think the alternative music is really something that I should get more into, because I love the way that they're using instruments along with different synth patterns and other drums and even a lack of drums. I love the awkward and different uses of vocal patterns. I love the faded vocals on that album, and I love how it really feels like a piece of art rather than just a traditional song. Gorillaz truly treats their music like art, and I think that that's what has really made me want to come back to them and to continue reacting to their music. And I've heard a lot of great things about Plastic Beach, even that it's better than Demon Days, so I have nothing short of great expectations for this album as well. It's 16 songs, it looks like. Pretty long album, but I'm gonna enjoy every second of it. Let's sit down, have a laugh together, love this music. This is Gorillaz, Plastic Beach. Right back into it. Super cinematic way to open up this album. Track 2 is going to be Welcome to the World of the Plastic Beach.
Gorillas in the Boss Dog, Planet of the Apes.
No, that is not Snoop Dogg.
Kids gather around, yeah, I need your focus. I know it seems like the world is so hopeless. It's like Wonderland. And I'm just like math. Foes always added up to get you more cash. Yeah, so quick, so fast. All the kids say they love it when I make them laugh. Welcome to the world of a plastic beach.
I think it's very indicative of how respected that Gorillaz is, not just in their own niche in the music industry, but in general when you consider the fact that not only did Doom work with them on Demon Days, but now we have Snoop Dogg on this album. These guys aren't necessarily known for doing features, and I could be kind of wrong with Snoop Dogg because I don't know too much about him, but I haven't heard him on a lot of other songs, so to see him at the start of this album and to kind of provide this just spoken word intro to what they're going to be bringing to you on Plastic Beach is really interesting. And he must have heard me say his name, and I'd say it in all caps. But I think that Snoop really nails it here, and I also really liked the Daft Punk-ish kind of vocals that 2D used for himself. My one thing, and this isn't a criticism or praising, it's kind of just something I noticed, is I don't really know what tone they were going for besides, you know, the psychedelic alternative style that they like to use. The electronic trumpet sounds kind of sounded celebratory, but then the drums were really blunt, and then they had some kind of haunting elements in there. So I'm really interested to see where they're going to take us with the rest of these songs. The next track is going to be White Flag.
Survivor, I ain't lost and this ain't shipwrecked. I ain't Jesus, but I'm walking on water. There's no bombs here, there's no war, cuz I can break out of jail with a lighter. So is there any point in making laws? This ain't Atlantis, are you sure? On any village, I'm a little bit crazy. Swagger on 100 degrees, so hey, look, it's heaven at a VIP. This is it, white sand, blue sea. But I don't know who they are, and I'm damn sure they don't know me. But I come in peace, integrating them, we ain't leaving. We come on a peace sing. White flag, white flag.
Ooh. Yeah, so another great song. I didn't like it as much as the previous one, but just another great additional factor to the sounds we're getting already. I'm just so intrigued on what goes through Murdoch's head when he composes these songs, because the people who get on the mic, who perform, whether it's rap, sing, or just ad-lib, they really feel like components, not, you know, the song is by them. I like the really 8-bit Game Boy-ish sounding, you know, beat that really started off the song, but then on the second half I loved the really cinematic kind of, I guess I would call them synth leads. I don't really know what to explain them as, but the great song. Bashi and Kano, whoever they are, they rapped very well also.
I'm a scary gargoyle on a tower that you made with plastic power. Your rhinestone eyes are like factories far away, far away. So call the mainland from the beach.
Come on, man.
Your heart is now washed up in bleach. The waves are rising for this time.
This is what I'm talking about. This is why Gorillaz is amazing. So I'm starting to kind of glean more elaboration of what this plastic beach theme means. And obviously it's a metaphor for nature is going away, the world's becoming more industrialized, and it seems now that this whole idea of rhinestones is kind of talking about how we want these things and then we have them, and they're not as important as we thought they were. And I love these lines about him being a scary gargoyle on a tower that you made with plastic power. This idea of being a gargoyle, I feel like it's 2D referring to himself as almost, it says inanimate on Genius, but I don't really feel that way as much. It seems to me as more as if he's considering himself insignificant because these plastic powers, the really just industrialized way that the world is going, is starting to take over, so that people, the idea of nature, of humanity, is becoming more obsolete. I love how he incorporates these just muffled vocals like he did a lot on Demon Days. It sounds as if he's the voice in the back of your head speaking to you from eons away, but you can still hear him because what he has to say is important. I'm loving the funky electric soundscapes that are coming through on every song so far. I hope they can expand on those a little bit more throughout the rest of the album and kind of take this style and hone it in a little bit more. I'm super intrigued so far. Track 4 is Stylo.
Push up, overload, legendary, heavy glow, sunshine, southern road, keep this on, yes. Oh, Stylo, go for blossom in your soul.
song was amazing. I'm so obsessed with a little guitar riff that kind of foundationalizes the beat, the dum 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 dum. And then you have the blunt bass drums that ch ch ch. And then these siren-esque synth sounds come in, and they've used these a couple times already on the album, but I think they're done the best so far here, and it's just so electrifying at this entire song. I love the way that each artist is incorporated, and they each bring a different style of delivery. Most Def's is very blunt, it's very dark, and then 2D's is very hypnotizing, and then who's this last guy? Bobby Womack? I hope I'm saying that right, but his was just over the top maximalist, incredible. It really just, I was gone. But again, here we are, Gorillaz beating you over the head with a theme, and I'm starting to get it more and more. This song felt to me more about how the world is essentially deteriorating. Humans shoot their own wounded. Humans have self-destructive tendencies, and we're not going to be able to stop it. We are overloading. Track 6 is Superfast, Jellyfish.
Are you kidding?
Yo, pretty packages of frosted delights. Look, it comes with a toy. I like that. For the gritty crunch, it tastes just
What is this
like
about?
candy. Rappers of many bite sizes. Man, are you freaking blind?
Fast.
Breakfast you've got time for.
Super fast, I'm coming last. But just in time for breakfast. Keep it true, forever blue. The night goes out just aluminum. A crucial phone, aluminum.
Our net worth is set, ready, go, many no others. We be the colors of the mad and the wicked. We be bad, we be bricket with the 24-hour sign.
So, I guess this is gonna sound terrible because it sounds like a knock, and it's really not at all. But it felt a bit more traditional in terms of the song structure and the beat at the start of the track. But that just didn't pan out at all because the really contradictory delivery, the really perky vocals, all of that came together to contradict with the lyrics and the theme of the song, which to me seems like a call out of the entire music industry. This idea of super fast, then you look at the artists in the mainstream, it still applies today actually. If you take a look at the 808 drum and how that's revolutionized mainstream hip-hop, and now every artist is hopping on there trying to get a hit song as quick as possible. So if I was in Murdoch's position, I would be pretty upset because they put so much time and effort into their craft and in making their music something greater. And to see somebody just, spend a few hours on making a hit and then getting more fame than them from it, I'd be frustrated too. Track 7 is Empire Ants. This man is so messed up in the head. It's gonna be corny if I keep putting in like these clips of me just sitting here after every song, but that's literally what I've been doing, is just sitting here reflecting on what I just heard and me. That was probably I'm gonna say that was my favorite so far, even though I didn't quite glean the whole idea of the ant thing. I guess I could consider unity maybe is what they're trying to say. I don't know, it's something I'm gonna have to listen to, but I was just so obsessed with how it sounds, and 2D's vocals are so good. Track 8 is Glitter Freeze. What's crazy is I would listen to that song just as the instrumental more than I would a lot of other rappers' songs, which is just crazy on its own. But I'm very intrigued by this idea of glitter freeze, because I feel like with the ideas that they're presenting on this album is that freezing won't exist in 50 years, because I believe that global warming is probably part of their ideas here. So I'm seeing opinions that this is about the future, but I actually have a different thought on it. I think it's about the past. See, the futuristic sounds, it seems like what an alien apocalypse would sound like. Yet I feel like this idea of the glitter freeze, it's trying to portray what things used to be like and the feelings that come with it. And kind of the fact that we need to get back to that. I don't know, that could be stupid. Let's get on to track 9, Some Kind of Nature.
Some kind of nature, some kind of soul, some kind of mixture, some kind of gold.
Some kind of nature, some kind of soul, some kind of mixture, some kind of gold.
All we are is stars.
Man, it's just so refreshing to hear an album where every song holds weight, because it's so rare now. It's so rare. And again, that's what I love about music, when you treat it like art, when you can feel the artist's pain, the things they want to get across you can just feel it. And that's what I love about Gorillaz. And again, just continuing these themes that we've had is that the world it's so corrupt. It's unrecognizable. That's how they're portraying it. Some kind of nature, some kind of soul, some kind of mixture, some kind of gold, some kind of majesty, some chemical load. And they're saying that it's become so darn messed up that they don't know how to describe it. Oh, this album's really doing something to me, man. So this is the track I've had actually a lot of requests to do just this song. It's called On Melancholy Hill. It's Gorillaz' I think most popular song. So I expect greatness. Every single track on this album has been incredible. So I don't know what to expect. I hope that they're going to take the futuristic sounds and flip them on its head here, but let's just go into it, man. Oh my gosh!
Up on Melancholy Hill there's a plastic tree. Are you here with me? Just looking out on the day of another dream. 'Cause you are my medicine when you're close to me. When you're close to me.
Dude! Oh no. Come on, man, don't cry. Not one to go. I'm not even kidding, like that made me feel some type. I need to take a break. I'm gonna talk about this in a minute. I'm not gonna be able to articulate myself well enough to do this justice. So a little anecdote about me. Obviously, a big part of my channel, I'm a Christian, and I react to this music, and I kind of don't fit in for a lot of reasons because of that. And school was hard, and I found myself just struggling a lot. But there was one place where I felt like that none of that mattered, and I could just be me. And that was camp. It's a Christian camp. I won't say the name of it for obvious reasons, but I would go there every summer and see my friends, and a place where people only have kind words to say. And there my mind goes away, and it did. And then I come back and reality hits, and I feel like listening to this song like I was caught really off guard because it hit me with all those emotions at once, and I really just wasn't prepared for that. So I apologize for my cheesy, corny reaction, whatever you want to call it, but it's really how I feel. And 2D, give him his flowers for his vocals, man. This guy is really something else, and I love how he makes his vocals sound even more nostalgic by the way he incorporates them with the muffledness, the far away sounding nature, the mixing of it. The song continues the themes that we've seen on Plastic Beach, this idea of just pounding, materialism and the people who live for things, who live to see the world burn essentially, but they don't even know that they're doing it. And I love how 2D makes these ideas, these themes. He portrays them in the form of places. We have Glitter Freeze, we have Plastic Beach, we have Melancholy Hill, and they all represent different corners of this whole idea on this album of what he's trying to portray, and this is the best example of it so far. And I'm just speechless. I really am. And again, it just illustrates why I love Gorillaz so much. You feel something when you listen to their music. It gives you emotions that you didn't know you were capable of feeling, and I just have so much undying respect for that. So I think it goes without saying that was my favorite song of the album so far. Let's keep going. The next track is Something. I don't have it up.
Distant stars coming black or red. I've seen their worlds inside my head. There's nothing you can do for them. They are the force between when the sunlight is rising.
Well, I never thought that I would A, hear a breakup song from Gorillaz like that, and B, enjoy it so much, but here we are, man. Track 12 is Sweepstakes.
Baby, you a runner, keep cool for my line. Scare money, broke money, more money, more money. So sunny cloud breaker, shine make a wave run up. Wild wanna funky drum up, you can get it how you wanna. There's math and there's dealers and players and me. You're a runner. Sweepstakes. You're a runner. Sweepstakes. You're a runner. More money, so sunny, cloud breaker, shine maker, wave runner, wild wonder, and drummer. You can get it how you wanna. There's math and there's dealers and players and killers and me. They say that they winners, so people to see.
So, probably my least favorite track so far. It definitely wasn't a skip, but I just wasn't as intrigued, as pulled in by it. I'll definitely give them credit for going to a more organic sound here. I liked the really blunt drums, but I just felt like the wordplay was a bit repetitive. The appearances by different artists weren't grabbing me as much, and it's just a song that, while it does add to the album, isn't one I'll be revisiting as frequently. Track 13, we're going to go with Plastic Beach. So I just looked and my camera got cut off for me reacting to this song, and that's unfortunate, but I'll just give my thoughts on it quickly. I love how, again, they're portraying these places as the themes and they're going into detail, and I love how they're just continuing the idea of bashing materialism and the fact that we're destroying our world, we're changing the natural state of it, and it's scary because what they've been describing on this album so far seems futuristic. It seems like something that could happen. Yet when you look at it, it maybe will happen, and it's not that far off from reality now, and that's the really haunting part of it. I thought the robotic instrumental, the boop beep bop beat, was really great, and I love how 2D's smooth vocals contrasted with it, as well as what he was saying. Track 14 is To Binge.
My star has left me to take the bitter pill. That shattered feeling, well, the cause love you so much these days. Have to tell you that I love you so much these days. It's true.
This is what? What do you want? This album is so good. I struggled to glean the concept of that song. It seems to be about depression, I think. I don't know. Let me know, because there's clearly deeper meaning here. Cloud of Unknowing, second to last song.
Trying to find a way to your heart, like setting suns at the rodeo, trying to find someone you never know. It's all good news now, because we left the taps running for 100 years. Plastic cup, drink with the purple,
I get it.
the people, the plastic
I get it.
eating people, still connected to
They're singing from the other perspective now. The people that are destroying this beautiful world we have, the ones who are killing it, changing its natural state, that are demonizing it, they're celebrating it, and they don't even realize what they're doing. It's all good news now. I'm so lost for words right now. Usually I give a synopsis on my overall thoughts, but this album was so haunting, yet enlightening, yet psychedelic, and just and I have to listen to it at least 4 or 5 more times before I can really wrap my head around how I truly feel about it, if I like it a lot more than Demon Days, or if they're neck and neck, or how I really feel. So you heard it here, and within about a week and a half, I'm going to make a Changed My Life video on this album, because I believe it is that good just off first listen. So please be on the lookout for that, to hear how I feel about the album as a whole. Now, of course, in order to make sure that you see that video, you should probably subscribe. I would really appreciate it, and it'll keep you hooked up for my later videos, and it really just motivates me. It would, honestly, I know that it sounds corny when YouTubers say this, but it would make my day. Let me know other great Gorillaz projects, or just albums I should react to that might sound similar to this. I know you can't recreate it, but you know, the same style. Thanks so much for joining me. I sincerely hope you'll join me next time. Happy listening.